We know a lot about Khamzat. That style, that seek and destroy, throw yourself into the fire.
Maybe you're cutting the weight easy. It depends on the person, I guess. Because some people are cutting the weight easy.
Really?
Yeah, some people are being. There's people that cut a get load of weight, but some people are being pretty smart about it. I think 85 to 70 is really good. Khamzat,
He's big.
he's fucking huge.
I remember we saw him backstage in Florida.
Nobody's finished Izzy like that in a fight. Ever. Whenever you have these exchanges and you see these winging punches come Izzy's way, anything can happen.
Yeah,
and when you're tired and you're not moving back as good as you were in the second tap, you got to give it up to that.
It's hard for me to give it up to him.
UFC 319 is just around the corner, and Joe Rogan has finally shared his thoughts on the upcoming middleweight title fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis. Rogan praised Chimaev, saying his ground control looks like it belongs to a completely different sport. He explained that in grappling, Chimaev doesn't just beat his opponents, he dominates them in a way no one else in the division can.
Khamzat's skill is so high level, it makes me wonder. It appears that in terms of like the grappling that he possesses seems magnitudes greater than anybody else in his.
Joe Rogan gave his opinion on Khamzat Chimaev's skills, saying they're so advanced that it's hard to imagine how someone like Dricus Du Plessis could handle them. He did praise Du Plessis for being strong, tough, and well-rounded in both wrestling and jiu-jitsu. However, Rogan admitted he's not sure if that's enough to deal with Chimaev's relentless pressure-heavy fighting style.
This was just a overwhelming victory. Khamzat just charged in, dove in, got him down, and mauled him until he broke his face.
Do you think it's different with Du Plessis? Because he can wrestle.
He can wrestle. He's got very good jiu-jitsu. He hits f***ing hard, and he's a big, durable dude. But I don't know if he's going to be able to wrestle with that guy. Like, I don't know, man. The Khamzat's skill is so high level, it makes me wonder.
Joe Rogan called Dricus Du Plessis scary and pointed out that his size gives him a big advantage, especially after his recent win, where cardio and breathing were key factors. Rogan said Du Plessis has a strange, stutter step style that makes him unpredictable. He explained that while the movement looks awkward, it's actually very technical and hard to imitate, which gives Du Plessis a real edge in the fight.
Dricus is scary. That's a guy who's so big for 85.
The way he looked against, I didn't give him a chance against Robert Whitaker, and boy was I wrong.
After he got a deviated septic surgery, which I think it's a big factor.
Yeah,
being able to breathe out of your nose.
If you can't breathe, you can't fight.
Yeah. But it's Dricus looks awkward when he fight. He moves different, but that movement and that awkwardness makes him difficult to time. It's like his timing is off. And if you don't have anybody that can imitate that kind of stutter step motion that he does, it's deceptively technical.
On the other hand, Caio Baralho said he's leaning toward Khamzat Chimaev, but admitted he's always been wrong when betting against Dricus Du Plessis. He joked that Dricus keeps proving him wrong every time. Caio predicted the fight might end quickly, like Khamzat's fight with Whitaker, and gave a 60% chance that Khamzat finishes it early. Still, he gave Dricus a 40% chance to survive the early pressure with his size and strength, which could help him turn the fight around. In the later rounds,
what do you think it's gonna take for DDP to stuff the takedowns in here and still?
Bro, this is crazy because I always bet against DDP and he always shut in my mouth. But I'm feeling like this can be a fight as fast as the fight with Khamzat and Whitaker, like finishing the first round or beginning of the second round, 60% of me say that Khamzat will finish this fight like real fast, but 40% says that Dricus, with his size and height and his weight, he's a big guy for the division. I think he can stop the takedowns or even survive the first two rounds, and then the fight gets better for him. So I'm 60-40 on these two options.
Earlier in another interview, Caio Baralho picked Khamzat Chimaev to win, saying that most fighters prepare the wrong way by training with traditional wrestlers. He explained that Chimaev's grappling in MMA is very different and much harder to handle. According to him, stopping Chimaev means understanding his entire game, not just defending takedowns.
Fighting against Dricus, who do you think he wins? I think Khamzat is gonna win because I don't see anyone preparing properly for Khamzat. They are bringing wrestlers to train them to defend takedowns and all that, but Khamzat doesn't do the normal stuff. Khamzat doesn't do wrestling. He does MMA wrestling. It's different. You need to understand his system, what he wants next. You need to understand this first, and then you start to prepare for him. And I think Khamzat is gonna win for me.
Former UFC champion Demetrios Johnson also shared his thoughts on the high-stakes middleweight clash, stressing how important it is to control the pace of the fight. He said that if Dricus Du Plessis can keep the fight standing and avoid going to the ground, his unusual striking style could give him an advantage. Johnson also pointed out that Chimaev has struggled to keep his pace in longer fights, which could give Du Plessis an opening later on. However, he warned that Chimaev's wrestling will remain a constant threat, and Du Plessis will need to stay focused and disciplined the entire time.
Chimaev cannot get him down.
He will, but yeah.
But let's say he does get him down.
Yep.
And he doesn't finish him, right? I think he's spent. Because you look at his fights. You look when he fought Gilbert Burns, when he fought Kamaru Usman. He had Kamaru Usman fully mounted, back hooks and everything, right?
Yep.
Working for the choke, pounding him, could not finish him.
Couldn't get him.
The rest of the time, he could not find it was shadow boxer. Granted, he might be sick or whatever.
Yep.
But if he cannot figure it out within those first 2 rounds or the first round he gets him down, I think DDP is going to do what he does best.
Yep.
He's going to be awkward. He's going to be, ha, 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 do the kicks. And I think DDP is going to beat him.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
Khamzat Chimaev is more athletic, more traditional, but I think that awkwardness of the old, what did he say? The lanky man style.
Yep.
I think DDP is going to.
During a conversation with John Anik, Kenny Florian highlighted how explosive Khamzat Chimaev is right from the start. He mentioned a discussion with Brian Petrie, who said Chimaev might be the most dangerous first-round fighter in UFC history. Claim, Florian admitted, is hard to disagree with. He pointed to Chimaev's quick domination of Robert Whittaker as proof, saying that, whether it's grappling or striking, Chimaev has the power to finish the fight before it even fully begins.
Petrie and I were talking about this, but Petrie was saying he's probably the best first-round fighter in UFC history, and he could be right. And people forget, we just saw him, crush the jaw of Robert Whittaker. Yes, he can do that as well. So he can take you down and maul you. He can submit you. And he can knock your ass out on the feet as well. And he can do it in a blink of an eye. That's how explosive Khamzat Chimaev is.
Kenny Florian also shared his excitement for the fight, saying he's curious to see what happens if one of the fighters can survive the early pressure. He described the opening rounds as chaotic when a pressure-heavy fighter is involved, but said the real test comes if the fight goes into the later rounds. According to Florian, a tough decision win would reveal more about a fighter's complete skill set than a quick finish. What keeps him most interested is the unpredictability of how their styles might clash as the fight progresses.
If DDP is able to survive the early rounds against that whirlwind juggernaut in Khamzat Chimaev, that's when the fight gets really interesting to me. And I said this, and I've been thinking about this a lot. If Khamzat is able to win the fight by decision, that would be more impressive to me than in an early finish against DDP. But dude, that fight can go so many different ways. That's what makes the sport and the UFC so intriguing. I can't wait.
Ikram Aliskarov predicted a tough back-and-forth battle, but ultimately picked Chimaev to win. He pointed to Chimaev's well-rounded skill set, strong both in striking and on the ground, as the key factor, while he gave Du Plessis credit for being durable, awkward, and good at disrupting opponents' rhythm. Aliskarov still believed that Chimaev's ability to adapt during the fight would lead him to victory.
I think he's good, very good. You see this last fight was Whittaker, and not last, all his fight, he have everything. He have good wrestling, grappling, and striking. But he's a not simple guy, Du Plessis, All the fight, all people think about this fight he lose, this fight but he not lose, he's win anybody, brother. It's a good fight, but I think, I hope in Chimaev.
Meanwhile, UFC legend Michael Bisping pointed out that Dricus Du Plessis is a real threat because of his size, power, and grappling skills. At the same time, he said that fighting at 185 pounds might actually benefit Khamzat Chimaev. According to Bisping, carrying more natural weight could help Chimaev recover faster and train more efficiently, possibly improving his endurance. He also questioned why more fighters don't consider moving up a weight class when it could clearly boost their performance.
Du Plessis is gigantic for a middleweight as well. He's a very, very strong guy. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He's got excellent conditioning. Now, the conditioning is going to be key for Khamzat because moving up to 185, the conditioning will be improved. The strength will be improved. He can take on more nutrients. He can recover better between training sessions. I don't know why everyone doesn't move up a weight class. I said this on a video yesterday, and I'm saying it again right now. Everyone just move up a weight class, okay? The sport will be better.
Similarly, Chael Sonnen shared his thoughts on the matchup. saying he understands why Khamzat Chimaev is the favorite and would probably pick him to win. However, he admitted there's still a lot of uncertainty about how the fight might play out. Sonnen pointed to the first round as the key moment if Chimaev takes control early. He could dominate. But if Du Plessis handles the early pressure and stays strong, the momentum could shift in his favor as the fight goes on.
A surprise that Chimaev is a favorite. No, I would expect him to be. But I also feel as though if I were predicting this today, I would lean Chimaev. As long as you didn't ask me a follow-up question. Like if I told you, hey, I think Chimaev's going to beat Dricus. Okay, great. If we all get up and walk out of the room, we're fine. The problem is if you're going to ask me how is he going to beat him? Because I am not fully confident that Chimaev can take him down at will. I'm not fully confident he can keep him there. We're going to know in the very first round. If Dricus gets taken down in the first round, things are going to unravel very quickly. But if he can defend a takedown for the entire first 5 minutes, it's only going to get easier to stay on your feet after that. It's an exciting match. I would expect Chimaev to be the favorite. And he is.
Chael Sonnen also raised questions about whether Dricus Du Plessis can stop or even counter Chimaev's grappling game. He acknowledged that Chimaev usually takes control right from the start, but felt this matchup is more evenly balanced than others. According to Sonnen, that sense of unpredictability is what makes this fight more exciting than most people might expect at first glance. So that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop your predictions in the comments below and subscribe to the channel for more UFC updates.